Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a seriously fascinating macro to micro journey through some of the most dynamic developments emerging from India as of July 2026. We are going to connect the dots between sweeping nationwide structures and incredible local discoveries, and I promise you, it's a wild ride. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever stopped to wonder what high-level financial vehicles, digital operating systems for rural communities, invasive pests, and newly discovered deep-sea fish all actually have in common? On the surface, absolutely nothing, right? But together, they form this perfect snapshot of a rapidly shifting, highly complex landscape. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the SIF's financial bridge. Then we'll check out rural digital transformation, take a look at the giant snail invasion, and finally explore a deep-sea fish discovery. All right, Section 1, the SIF's financial bridge. So you're probably asking, what exactly are specialized investment funds, or SIFs? Well, SEBI recently amended the 1996 mutual funds regulations to introduce this brand new product, and it's designed to fix a very specific problem, bridging that massive gap between your everyday mutual funds and those high-end portfolio management services that are usually just reserved for the ultra-wealthy. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of the reaction. I mean, these newly introduced SIFs crossed a staggering 13,814 crore rupees in assets under management right after their launch. When a product pulls in that kind of capital that fast, it tells us investors were absolutely starving for this kind of middle ground option. Think about it like this. Mutual funds are super accessible, right? But they're kind of rigid. On the flip side, PMS is perfectly tailored for you, but it requires massive capital to even get a foot in the door. So SIFs act as this sort of Goldilocks solution. They sit right there in the exact middle ground, giving you that customization without the crazy high entry barriers of a traditional PMS. But SEBI is definitely keeping a tight leash here to prevent any market chaos. The offerings are strictly lane-based. We're talking equity-oriented, debt-oriented, and hybrid strategies. And here is the absolutely crucial part. Only one strategy per category is permitted for each SIF. That rule keeps the market clear and really protects those billions of rupees pouring in. Let's move to Section 2, Rural Digital Transformation, and see how this builds on the idea of networks. Now I want to introduce you to LOCOS. I actually love this acronym. LOC translates to people, and OS, of course, is operating system. So literally, it's the people's operating system. Working under the National Rural Livelihoods Mission, or NRLM, this platform is acting as the digital heartbeat for managing self-help groups and community-based organizations. And we are talking about a truly massive, nationwide scale here. So how exactly do you manage human data on a scale that big? Well, you split the workload. The web application is what the administrators use at a desk. That's for creating and approving those self-help groups, village organizations, and the individual members. But the mobile app, that is a real game changer. It empowers the folks out in the field to easily record and manage community activities in real time, right from their smartphones. It just flawlessly bridges that gap between high-level administration and the actual boots-on-the-ground work. All right, shifting gears entirely, Section 3, the giant snail invasion. Okay, you have to hear this. What is one of the world's absolute worst invasive species doing right now in Kerala? We are seeing an alarming, incredibly rapid spread of this massive pest in places like the Tirunovaya Panchayat. It's actually encroaching right into human spaces, even invading local school campuses. Meet the culprit, the giant African snail, or for the science buffs, Lycocena fulica. Now, it's originally native to East Africa, but it essentially hitched a ride to India entirely through human activity. This thing has spread globally via the international pet trade, historical use as a food source, and just accidental introductions tucked away in cargo. And this brilliantly illustrates why this snail is such a formidable threat. Just look at the sheer variety of habitats where it thrives, as long as it's warm and humid. Agricultural fields, yep. Wetlands and forests, for sure. It even does incredibly well in scrublands, coastal areas, and heavily populated urban regions. It is this relentless, highly adaptable creature that just devours vegetation, so its rapid spread is a really devastating threat to both local agriculture and the native biodiversity. Finally, plunging into Section 4, Deep Sea Fish Discovery. I honestly love stories like this. Scientists down at the Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, that's the CMFRI in Kochi, they've made an incredible local marine biology discovery. They actually found a brand new species of deep-sea fish. It belongs to the Dory's genus, and they've officially named it Cetopsis indica, or the Indian dory. It's just a fantastic reminder that we still have these completely uncharted frontiers right here in our own waters. But before you go looking for the Indian dory on your local seafood menu, we need to talk about its biology. First off, this fish lives under crushing deep-sea pressure. To survive down there, it stores incredibly high levels of these waxy compounds right inside its body. And because of those exact waxy compounds, the fish is entirely unsuitable for human consumption. Kind of a brilliant evolutionary trick, right? It literally keeps itself off our dinner plates. So the crucial point is, what other hidden secrets and surprises are waiting for us in the deep sea or, right in our own backyards, whether it's billions of rupees flowing through new financial bridges, digital operating systems empowering rural villages, or just bizarre creatures showing up in our lands and oceans. The landscape around us is literally always shifting. Keep asking those big questions and stay endlessly curious. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer.